In this video, I'm going to be showing you how an automated tenant management system is transforming property management and buying time for the landlords, tenant managers, and property managers, and making tenants have a long-term communication and good experience. I built this into a WhatsApp integrated system that communicates back and forth with this scenarios. So in this case, I've got like 6 different scenarios to handle tenant inquiries, tenant management, their rent informations, and directions in the property, and also maintenance requests back and forth. So I'm going to test the system and show you how it works, then go back into the detail as to how this was fully built and integrated. Let's go on to test the system. So I'm going to say hello. It says, how can I assist you today? So I'm going to say, when is my rent due? It says, we are currently checking the rent database information. Please give us a moment. Earlier, then your rent is due on the 10th of October 2024, and the rent amount due is £2,000 thereabout. So, and also we're gonna ask it about maintenance request as well. So I have a 40 fridge. Can you guide me on how to fix this? Could you please provide some more details? Are you experiencing any specific issues such as fridge not cooling, making unusual noise, or water leaking? This will help me give you accurate instructions. So this can go further and beyond to escalating the situation to the property manager, or booking a direct appointment with the property maintenance team. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and ask, how do I locate the gym in the building? To locate the gym, start from the main entrance, walk straight down to the main. So this is for like new tenants coming into the building without knowing the structure of the building. And we can also ask it, how do I contact the property manager? See that? So you can reach the manager on this number, that number. So this system can go on beyond and keep asking the questions about the property, and it can be built into in-depth structure to handle your tenant. So I'm gonna just walk you through how the system was built and how this whole scenario was created, how this whole algorithm works. So what we're gonna do first is, I got like a number from Twilio, integrated it into my WhatsApp number, and created a sender here to also undo massive queries and send back. So this is like connected to the webhook. So this URL is like the webhook from Make, and this webhook here integrate into like a WhatsApp system to have it send information or queries back and forth to trigger the system, because we need to understand the intent of the message that the tenant wants to send. So we break that down into a language processing system. So in this case, we are using OpenAI to understand the intent of the message. So here I've given OpenAI a prompt to understand and clarify the intent of the client and pass it into the required scenario that we have here. So on here we have like different scenarios, which is rent inquiry, maintenance request, lease inquiry, greetings, contact manager, and property inquiry. So right now we want to understand the intent of the tenant right from the trigger, and then we can route it into all of these other scenarios we have here. So I'm going to go through the intent one after the other. So what I did there is that I asked GPT to get the intent, and then I passed it on to a JSON file that gives us the exact intent, and to clarify what the tenant is saying. We have like a router here that then routes it to different parts of the application. If we discover a greeting, maybe the tenant starts the conversation off as a greeting, we want to respond back to the system. So the first case scenario here is greetings, and I'm going to show you how that works. So I'm going to run the scenario once, and and we'll see what route that the message goes into. So I'm going to run this once, and let's see. So I'm going to say hello. So as you can see, we have the message gotten back to us. It said, hello, how can I assist you today? But we want to know what exact channel this message passed through. And then we can see that, yeah, it comes through the first channel, which is identified as the greeting. So in this, I have a clause here that says, if the intent is greeting, pass it onto this channel. And then ChatGPT understands the intent, then convert it back into a response that is then sent back into the Twilio to give us a response back. So we can see this goes back to here, and the recipient gets the result back from GPT, and we have it sent back to the system. The second scenario here I want to say is when you have a rent inquiry. What it does here is that once the system understands that you're asking anything about your rent, want it to check the system, what it does is it takes the number that is sending the inquiry and checks the database, the Google sheet that we have here. We have like a couple names of tenants, we have the contact info, and we have the rent amount due, we have the rent due date, and also this system sends an automated reminder like 2-3 days before the rent is due. I'm going to run this, and we're going to see how smart the system is to understand the intent from the message. When is my rent due? So let's see the channel it takes. So as we can see, it goes through the second scenario. So what it does here is that it sends it back to ChatGPT to say, okay, I'm currently checking the database, and hold on a second. Then it sends that message back to the recipient. Then we then check the data from the Google sheet I've shown you here. Then once that is done, gives us the result the way we want it to. So I'm saying, hey, hello, the tenant name, it gets the tenant name from the Google sheet. Your rent is due on this certain date, and the rent amount due is this. As you can see, so it says, hello Adini, you got it from the tenant sheet. Your rent is due on this day, and the rent amount due is this. The next scenario here is the maintenance request. Say you have like a faulty gas, you want to have a quick fix and see how you can fix this. So I'm gonna run this once again. I need help with my gas, with my electric gas. So let's see what route it takes. So this takes the third scenario. Yeah, it passes into GPT, and is given a quick fix for the system, and also ask you if you want to escalate it to maybe the property manager, if you would like to book an appointment with the property maintenance team, you want to have them come have a look at it. Then it sends you like an automated response. So this can go on to having an appointment setter, then it gives us a response back to the system. The next case scenario is the property inquiry. So if the intent is equal to the property inquiry, take this route. Maybe you want to throw the bins out, you want to access the gym, you want to go into the pool, you want to access different things about the property. So ideally the system must have an idea of what happens on the property, what kind of amenities are in the property, how you can access the property. Then anything like, so we're going to ask it a question. We run this once again. Ask it the question, how do I access the swimming pool in this property? This route into the fourth scenario, and then it gives us a direction based off what we've trained the system to understand the routes of the building. And this is what the backend looks like. So the intent is clear and the message is clear, and then gives us back a response. This is also, good for, hotels, Airbnbs, hospitals, all of that. So the next case scenario we have right now is the unknown scenario, where you don't have like a clear message. That's like a default scenario whereby the system is not really clear about what you want it to do. If it's not really clear about the direction you want it to take, you don't put in the right prompt. It has to understand your question properly before it then routes you to a particular direction. So I'm gonna just write and send it to the system. So let's see what route it takes. So it takes in the 5th route, and it says, it seems like your message got a bit jumbled. Could you provide more details or clarify your request? I'm here to help. So, this is an automated system. Like I said, it's smart enough to detect your intent. It then prompts you back to, okay, this is not a clear question. How can I have a clear question so that I can help you and guide you into like the right path? This last case scenario is a direct contact to the contact manager. So what I'm saying is that if maybe I just want to call the number, or I want to see who is in charge of the property, I want to just have like a direct call and I want to get the number. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to run this once and let's see what route it takes. So I'm going to say, how do I contact the manager? So here it tests the last scenario and says you can reach the manager on this certain number. So this system, like I said, is built to handle all tenant inquiries, and it can also be sophisticated. We can have all that integrations there. We can have it linked to book appointments. You can also have it integrated on a call system, on like a voice AI to to automate all the inquiries of the tenant and have quick response instead of waiting for hours to get response from property manager or from the landlord. And it also buys the landlord enough time. This is efficient, and this can also be integrated into like a WhatsApp, a chatbot system, a Slack, a Telegram, a text message. So I'm doing this on WhatsApp to show like the ease of communication between the tenant and the landlord. If you want like access to this scenario I've just built in here, leave a message saying automation and I will drop you a link to have access to this system. Bye guys.